What do you think? Good. Good morning, everybody. It's June 11th, 2019, and I'm headed into work for the day. I just dropped Grant off to the summer camp, and they're going to have an awesome time this summer. Like, this program is absolutely incredible. I'm pretty certain it is almost the exact same price as daycare. And they're doing something different and something awesome every single day they're there. Like, yesterday was swim day. Grant didn't partake in that, but they're going to a farm place today. It's a kids type of place where it's set up, and I'm trying to think. The place's name is Blackberry Farm, but I think Grant, Vicky, and I went. And that was the time that when Vicky went, she wore like a summer dress. And I think it was one of the first times that she hung out with Grant and I, and she was mad because she didn't know not to wear a dress because we were playing and running and doing all kinds of stuff. And yeah, that was interesting. So, and to be honest, I think I was videoing back then. You could probably search my channel for the tag Blackberry Farm. What I need to do, if I could ever get there, is tag my videos better so I could search the archives easier. But, yeah, I don't know. Grant had a baseball game yesterday. Nikki ended up coming out, and we all watched it, and my parents came, and they watched almost the entire game, too. They ended up winning in the last inning. They got 6 runs, and the other team had 5 runs. And what sucks is the other team, one of the kids hit a grand slam out of the park, over the wall, over the fence, home run. And that was awesome. You know, when people do stuff like that, everyone cheers. So that was cool. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But they won. Grant's team won. They have, I want to say, 2 more games left, and then they're going on to, they do playoffs, and I don't know. We're gonna kind of see. I think, you know, Grant's team, I don't think they could win, but I think they could advance and do pretty well. But we'll have to see. Today's going to be a busy day at work. I did not sleep well last night at all. I was up till probably 11:30, just playing on my phone and stuff, playing my game. Been big on the Brawl Stars lately. It's I can't think of the company's name, but it's the same company that makes Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, but it's called Brawl Stars. I started playing it as soon as it came out. Almost of 6,000 trophies or stars or whatever you get in the game for ranking. But yeah, so we're going to I gotta run some cables today, which means I gotta crawl around on the floor. I gotta build a server. I gotta load VMware onto a host, and that's about it. Gotta back up all my media. So I gotta back up this camera, gotta back up my cell phone. I've been using my cell phone, so I got a Galaxy S8, and I've been using my cell phone for a lot of video clips, and you guys have probably been seeing them mixed into my daily vlog videos over the past month or so, or even in Hawaii, I think I was using it for some clips. But man, the cell phone just takes in remarkably nice videos. It's stabilized footage, and it's just crisp. It's nice. And so I've been using that for baseball videos and all that sort of stuff. I can shove the cell phone right into the fence, into the chain link fence, and, like, you know, it doesn't block the view or whatever. The view's not blocked by the fence and stuff. So that's how I get those cool angles and cool views and stuff. Grant didn't do so well batting yesterday. He struck out twice, but he's back to being scared again or whatever. I don't know. One of the kids on his team yesterday, it was actually one of the coach's kids. The coach has 2 kids that play for the team. He got hit in his left elbow by a pitch, and it wasn't until after it happened that they realized that he got hit by a hard ball. So Grant's in the Pinto division, and they still use those like safety balls, and I don't know, it's just, I don't know how that could ever happen. Like, these guys need to be aware of this stuff. I mean, the kid could have broken his elbow, man. Like, you know, after the game he had ice on his elbow and stuff, but so just unreal. But I think I'm gonna go with Nikki tomorrow. We're gonna go see that band, that Beatles band. That's gonna be a hike. Not really looking forward to driving all the way out there. I'm gonna hope I can get her to drive, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm tired. I was up at, I think, 1, and up again at 5:30, and then Sophie was kind of walking around and meandering around at 5:30, so I picked her up and put her in my bed. Last night Sophie was hobbling and like in pain or something. Something's wrong with one of her legs. I think it's her back left. We got an ambulance coming here. Going the other way. But back left leg, I think, is she's having some pain or some issues or something. I kind of rubbed it for her, and she kind of like reacted like she felt something weird, and then after I kind of rubbed it, and she laid down for just a couple minutes, and she was walking better. So I'm not sure if it's arthritis or if she gets like a kink in her leg, or her muscle, or a nerve gets jammed or something, but a little concerned. You know, Sophie will be turning 13 in less than 2 weeks. On the 23rd is Sophie's birthday. She'll be 13 years old. That's insane. She's my first dog ever. I would have been 25 when I got her. Wow. Man, been through some shit in 13 years. Wow. She was born the day before Grant's mom and I got married. And if you hold her 2 back paws together, because she's like black and white coloring, if you hold her back 2 paws together, the white and the black, or whatever the coloring, it forms a heart. And here's a fun, interesting note. So when we got Sophie, she cost, it was like $800 or $900 from the dog store or whatever, the pet store. When Nikki and I just went to like a week ago or something, and we stopped into the exact same pet store that we got Sophie from 13 years ago, and the Bostons were going for like $1,800 or $1,900. So the price of the dogs has at least doubled. There were some dogs there that I thought said like $3,000 or $4,000, but a Boston was almost $2,000. That seems absolutely nuts to me. Like, I don't know. I'm guessing it's because of that area. It's a really well-off neighborhood or area or whatever, but crazy. There's no way I could afford it. I couldn't even afford Sophie when I got her. I had to charge her, and it took like 6 months to pay her off or whatever. As weird as that sounds. That's it. I'm just rambling and going on and on. Nothing particularly fun or exciting, but yeah, I need to get to work, so it's time to skedaddle. Alright guys, totally unrelated to anything, but I'd heard within the last week that Tesla is going to be coming out with an all-electric truck. They said it's going to be more practical than a Ford F-150 and faster or better or both than a Porsche. And then Nick, he told me, I think yesterday, that Volkswagen is coming back out with the Volkswagen Bus, and it's going to be either hybrid or all electric. So I'm excited for stuff like that, man. I want a larger vehicle that doesn't get like under 20 miles to the gallon. Like I can't, there's no way I could ever justify the cost. You know, like trucks are like, oh, I should say this, with the Tesla truck, all electric truck, they're saying it'll be under $50,000. It'll be like $49,000 or something. But you know, a normal full-size truck gets, you know, maybe 15 to 18 miles to the gallon. They make a hybrid Tahoe, and I think it gets an extra 3 miles to the gallon, which doesn't sound like much, but in a large vehicle, that's huge gas savings. I think it's like a almost like a 20 or a 25% increase in MPGs. But you know, I always kick around the idea of doing something different. Like, what if I took like my Cutlass body and dropped it on this car? You know, like I could get 50 miles to the gallon, have all the creature comforts of a modern car, but have it in a badass, you know, old style car, or whatever you want to call it. You know, that was the original idea with my Cutlass. I wanted to buy a 2006 LS2 GTO and eventually swap everything into my Cutlass, or swap the Cutlass body onto the GTO frame or whatever. Like, I don't care. But that was something that I've been always kicking around the idea for. Man, traffic is not good. This is gonna be bad. But yeah, so it's just, I'm excited about that. I'm really kind of interested in that Volkswagen Bus. You know, I want to start doing some more road trips. Grant's getting older. Even this car is bigger, you know. Especially kind of unfortunately to say, but when Sophie's gone, you know, I won't have that extra responsibility, so we can all just pack up and go. I always wanted to get one of those car top carriers, those I think they're like basically like glorified bags. You can pack clothes or whatever into it, and it goes on top of the roof of the car, and then it doesn't I think it's waterproof, rainproof, whatever, and then you can basically have a lot more storage space than even just the trunk. So that's the one downfall about my particular car. This is a Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, is because it's a hybrid, it has a big battery pack in the trunk and less actual usable trunk space. The hybrid model specifically, you can't fold down the rear seat either. It's just the way they designed it, I guess. Oh my god, this traffic. Alright, I gotta make some moves here, so stay tuned for more. Hey guys, just getting out of work for the day. I had to get some server, a new piece of equipment installed. Working on the floor, running cables, and just not used to doing that like I was. When I was redoing the whole infrastructure that one year, I used to be able to work days upon days under the floor and stuff and be fine, be sore or whatever, but I'm just run down. I didn't sleep well last night, and that like compounds. It's definitely like the days that I don't sleep well and I have to work on or under the floor, just wipes me out, so I'm freaking beat. But I'm headed home. Today was productive work-wise. I also started mocking up a watercolor tutorial idea that I have that involves Photoshop. So what I did was I looked up a method for reducing the number of colors in a photo. This is using Photoshop. It's called index mode. You can literally specify how many colors you want your image to have, and it strips that image down, and it almost makes it look pixelated when it does that, but it's pretty interesting. So I came up with an idea. I tried typing in the number 20 on this image of my friend Jess, and so I kind of broke it down into an image only containing 20 colors. And when I did that, you know, they give you a live preview, and I basically saw that there was essentially like 4 different tones in that image when I did that setting. So I exported 5 images, so 4 with the different settings. Actually, I think it was like, yeah, I think it was 5. So I did like highlights, highlights -1, highlights -2, highlights -3, and -4, I believe. So that's a total of 5 images. And what I'm going to try to do is trace them onto my paper, and then do 5 coats of skin-toned watercolor paint. First coat will be the entire skin. Second coat will be the next set of, I guess we'll call it darker tones, and then it'll just go build up from there, all the way to the darkest tone, which will have like 5 coats of the skin tone. So the watercolor paint that I'm using should be transparent, and that makes it so that when you do multiple layers, it gets darker tone-wise. So I'm going to try this out. It's just an idea that I had to learn, initially learn how to do portraits. I'm guessing after you do enough portraits, you can get really good at just knowing what to do and just do it, versus having to do all this stuff step by step. So that's my thought. Sorry, I got the air cranked. It's almost 90 degrees outside and I'm melting. So I'll show you guys more on that at another time, because I have no clue if this is going to work or if it's just going to be an epic fail. But I know it'll work. I just don't know how good it'll look as the final product. Let's just put it that way. So, that's just my thought, but yeah, I don't know. I've never done a portrait before, like a nice portrait, so this is kind of why I'm working on it. So it's gonna be probably about like a 6x8 when it's final said and done. But I have no clue. We're just gonna kind of see how this turns out. So it's hard to explain it without just showing it. So I'll have to show you guys whenever I start it. But I printed out these templates, so to speak, and I'll probably try to work on it tomorrow and at least get started and just kind of see how it goes, because I have no clue at all. Man, I am tired, so tired, but it's a good day. Yeah, that's it. Stay tuned for more.